Guys, this is the OG Slinger, and this is another Warframe grind video. Today the topic is the most hated Warframes in Warframe. And Ash is not on that list. Alright guys, here's some clips.
They could not do this without you.
Actually, I've had a few come up in passing that I know are pretty hated. So I figured for a video, let's find out which Warframes are the most hated. Now I wonder, should I ask this in recruiting? No, quite Q&A. Q&A. That's a good one. Let's see what we get. If I don't get banned. I don't know if that's a question I can ask. So now I'm asking in region chat. I'm kind of interrupting these guys' conversation, so I hope they don't mind. Alright, so hopefully you can see this. Okay, there's an Ember. Valkyr, don't care how skilled you think you are with her. She still amounts to little more than a toggle invulnerability button. While hysteria exists in its current state. Oh, I don't like Frost. Ooh, that's kind of a good one. And I'm a Frost guy, believe it or not, but I only use Frost with his globes when I actually know all the players and we've got an incentive to use Frost. Because I do think his globe, especially people when they make it like more oblique and you can't see through it, or opaque, it can be very annoying. And then when the enemies get into it and if you can't shoot into it, I don't know if it all still works exactly like that. But yeah, Frost can be very annoying. Ember's world on fire. Don't mess with Desecrate. All right. Cancer, Mirage. All right. Limbo, Atlas. I hate his stupid face. I hate his stupid face. All right. There's that. Oh my gosh. This is actually pretty fun. All right. So I'm actually going to probably Google more. Let me look here. All right, so after a little bit of deliberation, a few YouTube searches, Google searches, and forum searches, Vauban is no longer Trollbon. 8 years ago, when Vauban came out, a lot of people hated Vauban. I was concerned about that when I came back because Vauban was a powerhouse and he could suck you into his vortexes, but they fixed all that. He's no longer a powerhouse, actually. He's a great crowd control, and I think they did a really good job with what he's got going on. I call him Piler Tricks Vauban. So I actually was just using Vauban in a defense. And it worked out well. So Vauban's safe. Who else is safe? Some of the videos I watched were personal opinions, and some of them were very factual on why this warframe is useless. All right, so let's not talk about who's safe. Let's talk about who's not, because this is an easier list to go over. Number one, hated warframe, unanimously from everywhere you go, is Limbo. And it's not Limbo. It's Limbo players that make them that. Everybody hates Limbo players that use Limbo. And I guess I'd put it this way. They're ignorant to the other players is what it is with Limbo. So let me see if I can put on a Limbo. Do I even have a Limbo? All right, let's go to AAA because I don't use Limbo at all. But what I'll do, I do use a lot of frames, but I will put on Limbo for this. Yes. There we go. Limbo. Here he is. Limbo, you have been chosen as the most hated warframe in Warframe of all time. No one has said they like you, except for those who play you. And a lot of those players really suck. They're not good with other warframes. That's why they play you, because you can avoid damage. I know. It's a terrible feat, but you are the most hated warframe ever in Warframe. What can DE do to save you? Nothing. All right, so that's number one. Dude, I have totally nothing. Believe it or not, my experiences with Limbo, maybe a few times I got annoyed with a Limbo player, but it's not as bad as some of my friends have played Limbo with me, beside me, and I see him get cussed out in chat because, yeah, it's Limbo. So Limbo is number one. All right. I can't believe I'm going to do this. But Loki is number two. Loki comes up all the time. I don't think people understand why they hate him. I think it's the old switch teleporting thing that he used to be really good at. I mean, he can still switch teleport people, which gets annoying. I have had my buddies do it to me, and I just act like nothing and just keep playing. So I could say that Limbo could be more of a troll than Vauban throwing Teslas on people's butts. So Limbo came up as the number two most annoying in other people's conversations, not mine. All right, so Limbo would be, I keep saying Limbo. Loki would be number two. Loki, How do you feel about these charges against you? You are the second most hated Warframe in Warframe.
Well, I think it's bullcrap. I don't really understand it. I'm very quick. I can stay invisible. I've got great powers. And I'm underrated.
Well, this much might be true, Loki, but you're the second most hated Warframe in Warframe. All right. Yeah, let's go pick the third most hated Warframe in Warframe. Going over the list right here as I look at them. And some of them surprise me because I'll give my own list later. But what kept on coming up is it's between two of the Warframes. And I don't know. Oh, no. And it's not. I know exactly who it is. I forgot. Here we go. This one. Anaros, how do you plead to being the third most hated Warframe in Warframe?
Not guilty. I'm a good Warframe, and I'm not a troll.
You know what? That's true, Anaros. You are not a troll, so I don't know why everybody hates you. But they say you have a useless package. And you're not very good at tanking, and you're supposed to be a tank.
I'm very good at tanking. They just don't know how to play me. My kit might need a little rework, but I'm a good Warframe.
All right, so yeah, I don't. All right, some of this actually with the Naros might be legitimate. I don't think people hate on him for being a troll. Obviously, he's not. He can't even really troll anybody. I think people wanted to like Anaros, and when you look at his health and stuff, he spells tanky, and then they're disappointed when they get him, possibly because he might need a rework. So, another thing I've come across is that when Warframes are popular, they're more hated within a few months of them coming out, and then it dies off. There's a couple that I've got to bring up. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I don't understand sometimes when people say that they hate certain Warframes. I just don't get it. And then certain people don't get brought up certain Warframes like Savagoth. Nobody brought up Savagoth, so he's safe, believe it or not. But I know from personal experience, some people don't like Oberon. And I don't know why someone said Nidus. That was off. I don't think Nidus has got any issues. This one did come up a few times. Lavos. Lavos, you are the fourth most hated Warframe in Warframe. Is that because you're from Deimos and it's very infested?
I don't know why people don't like me. It's probably because their brains are locked in Davy's locker.
I don't know anything about Davy's locker there, Lavos, but people keep saying that they hate you. So let's go see who number 5 is. Number 5 has more to do with looks and playability issues from what I've got. Is it's surprising to me. He doesn't bother me at all. He just doesn't impress me that much. And if you play Atlas, please don't be offended, but I wouldn't put him on a worst Warframe list at all. But it's weird how the name kept coming up. And you see the one person just hated his ugly face. I mean, what more can you say? I hate your ugly face. He's got big shoulders, I guess. I saw in one video the guy was complaining about his package and then the shoulders getting away. To me, none of that bothers me, but I'm just being truthful of what other people say or have said in the forums and reading and watching other videos. When the name comes up, I got to be honest. Now, these are not my picks, okay? But, yeah, there we go. I'll do one more, but I think that's close to the end. Because, I mean, there's going to be off people that just say certain warframes no matter what. You're going to have one person say, I don't like this one. Here's another one that came up a couple times. I don't understand it at all, but the reasoning was they don't like it when Volt comes in and he's all volty and speedy. And to me, that I love. Like, come on, extra, make me faster. But I guess for certain players, it throws off their game. So Volt was definitely brought up more than once. All right, so now let's do what I would think the list should be. All right, I'm going to go with similar in certain ways. And then I'll tell you my experiences as to why I feel that certain frames probably should be ranked as the most hated warframes. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. You know what? Frost was brought up because of his globe. And I do want to... So we'll put Frost in honorable mention, but there's another one then that is just as annoying and was brought up. Let's see. There we go. Gara. It's not her kit. It's when people don't know how to use her, and they put up the shields. The enemies jump right over, and then they put an opaque color that you can't see through for her shields. So people can't shoot out of it real good at the enemies, but the enemies can just jump over it. So that is annoying. So she gets an honorable mention right with Frost for the same reason. Excuse me. And then this one I'm mentioning much more than what, but remember it's going down. So these are less hated, okay? And this one was brought up in the forums but I think it's time sensitive, because when I came back, this one was, I think, very popular. It did have a rework since then. The kit is better, but I think it left a bad taste in a few people's mouths, and that was Wukong. To me, I thought he was amazing. When I first came back, he was already out, and Wukong, to me, that's like Monkey King, Goku. He could be shorter and stockier, but other than that, I mean, he was hated, I think, because he was so good at things and made things easy. Even the videos, when people say that they hate Wukong, I think they're saying it like it's too easy. You know what I mean? I'm not really sure where it's all coming from. I do think Wukong is a really easy way to go, but I don't hate him for it at all. Just it's kind of like you can kind of half sleep and play him. So, which sometimes, some days, hell, I feel like doing that. All right, now let's go to what I would consider the worst frame, most hated frames in Warframe. And I'll just look down the list and go off my personal opinion. All right. My personal opinion, I think everybody, I'm just going to agree that Limbo would be number one. And it's not because of Limbo's kit, although his kit gives people the chance to be annoying. I think it's that new players, when they get Limbo, they realize they can live longer, not die. And that can make Limbo super annoying because a lot of Limbo players don't get hardly any damage. They can block other players from getting damage and slow down the game. So that can be an annoyance. All right. Now, also, when I say this list, just so you know, it doesn't mean I don't play the Warframe. But the next one that I would say would have to be annoying personally is like the Sanctuary Onslaught type. And I have a Sanctuary Onslaught type. I don't know if I'd put this as really annoying or my worst. You know what? I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say, Ureli, I really don't get it. Is she a jellyfish? Is she Little Bo Peep? I'm not sure what she's going for, but I think Ureli is just a stupid Warframe. I have used her. I have 30'd her up. You see, I haven't spent any formas on her because I don't get it. It just doesn't do it for me. So Ureli'd be my number 2. All right. Number 3 for me would have to be, and we've already touched on this one, Gara. And it's not because of Gara's powers, because there's really good Gara players. My son is a really good Gara player, and he doesn't annoy me. But people that are low-level players that take out the Gara to defenses and have the colored shields that nobody can see through are annoying as all hell. So that Gara's my number 3 for sure. I'm going to look right now with anybody that sticks out as annoying to me. Or just not, you know what? Oberon doesn't do it for me. I don't get into Oberon. He's been out a long time. He was out before I quit playing Warframe the first time. And my friend got him, and I was like, is he a goat or a deer? I'm not sure. I still don't really get into Oberon. I don't get him. Not saying that if you play Oberon and you love him and you know how to play him, good for you. It's just not my thing. And I play a lot of warframes. But to me, he doesn't stick out at all where I'd be like, yeah, I need to use Oberon for this mission. Who else? Who else? Okay. I guess the next two are going to be super controversial. All right. And I'm going to say Mirage. Okay. And it's not because I don't use Mirage, because I got a badass Mirage build and I do use Mirage, but it gets annoying when people just come in and you know what they do. They're just destroying everything. Yeah, here, let me equip her. Explosive Ledgerman. That can be annoying because it does, at a low level, it kills everybody so perfectly that it can be unfun for people that actually want to kill. So, yeah, Mirage can be an annoying one, although, okay, if you think about it, Mirage is helping out you when you're leveling, because everybody dies at low levels. Now, I didn't say high levels, but a basic Mirage with Explosive Ledgerman can kill most of the low-level enemies fairly easy. It just makes it boring, and I don't like that. The other one is Sarin. Saren can be an amazing warframe or a low-level type warframe guy who's going to get cocky. You know, so it's not even the warframes, it's the players with all of mine that can bother me sometimes. And Saren, the only thing that bothers me about Saren is she's so damn good. She is so damn good that I actually get a little jealous sometimes because she is that good of a warframe. And I actually have a really good helmet build for her, but I don't use her a lot because a few of my friends use her or whatever, you know, so I kind of like only use her solo or like with people I don't know. But she is so good. You ever meet somebody that's so good at everything that you're like, I hate you right now? That's Saren for me. I hate her, but I love to use her. So those are my top hated warframes. And honestly, there's so many that really didn't get mentioned. And if they didn't, like Valkyr, I did see people saying Valkyr. To me, it doesn't annoy me. But no one said Ureli. And I was like, how can you not say Ureli? I don't even, it's like, no, it's not. And I've heard Caliban a little bit, but to me, Caliban doesn't annoy me at all. He doesn't have any annoying type things. His kit may not match up the greatest, but he's pretty decent, pretty fun. Now we've got Gara. Or is it Gyra? I don't know. Words, they're hurtful when you mispronounce someone's name. This Warframe, I think that time will tell with this Warframe and what they're going to do with it, how it's going to go. I haven't done a video about Gara yet because she is so new. And I think that I get a Warframe, I 30 it up, and I get my first opinion. And then I wait a couple months and I take it out of the closet and I get my second opinion when it's not so popular anymore. And that's how I judge a Warframe. So Warframes, I don't judge right off the bat when they come out and say, oh my God, that's awesome. But anyways, this has been a long video, guys. That is the most hated Warframes in Warframe.